Back, a power shift is brewing in the sports betting world, and Wall Street is now watching the National Hockey League. It's because the NHL just became the first major U.S. pro league to strike licensing deals with prediction market platforms Kalshi and Polymarket. The question is, what does this mean for sports betting and the gaming stocks? Let's go a little deeper. Contessa Brewer covers the industry for us, joining us now from the New York Stock Exchange. What's the story here, Contessa?
Well, okay, so here's what we're looking at, Brian. When you look at the NFL saying nope, even before the season started, they warned about the potential for price distortion and manipulation. Major League Baseball worries about the impact on the integrity of the sport. But here you've got the National Hockey League saying it's done a deep dive, that it feels confident about the integrity guardrails that are in place. And so it's made a first-of-its-kind licensing deal with these prediction markets. Now, nobody is talking about how much Kalshi and Polymarket are paying. The NHL's business president, Keith Wachtel, told me that the league sees this as a massive opportunity to reach an untapped market of fans and to grow engagement. Now, Kalshi CEO Tarek Mansour said today on Squawk Box that he sees this as a kind of stamp of approval, a sign that prediction markets are here to stay. And certainly, Kalshi is seeing a boom. Dune Analytics reported that Polymarket and Kalshi saw $2 billion in volume last week, which, of course, had pro football and baseball, playoffs and hockey's launch, and then there's college football. There's just a lot for people to like. And in some of these states, Brian, as you know, California, Texas, Utah, there's no legal sports gambling. So if they can get onto a platform like Kalshi and make a trade on sports, it makes the game more exciting for everybody.
What does the gambling industry have to say about this?
Furious. The American Gaming Association is not happy at all. They've just shot out a statement saying that they're disappointed in the NHL, that contrary to what the league is arguing, they say that it's not established that these are legal, evidenced by the legal proceedings in multiple states, the views of well over half the nation's attorneys general and state regulators. Don't forget that tribal gaming is pushing back on this as well. They say it's deeply concerning. So, you know, there you have the pushback there. The AGA is filing amicus briefs on behalf of the tribes and the state regulators, and they say it's clear that legalized, licensed gambling has a place. They have frameworks. They have know your customer sort of guardrails, and that these platforms are not following the same set of rules.
Because what the viewers don't understand is that Contessa Brewer and Brian Sullivan had a few very fair and respectful disagreements about these gambling. Have we not in the past? We've talked about them for a couple years.
Remember, we were on and talking about whether there should be election prediction markets. Should you be able to trade on the outcome of elections? And my argument was that it's betting, and that betting on elections is not legal in the United States. What Kalshi has said, what Polymarket argues, and others, is that this is not gambling. It's a trade, like the way you would say, is a hurricane going to hit the west coast of Florida, or is the Fed going to make a rate cut of 0.5%? That is their argument, that it is a financial market trade. But they're using it sort of as a circular argument, that they're saying, look,
well, here's the thing. So and that was a couple years ago. It feels like the cat's getting a little bit out of the bag. We got stories like this now, and it feels like everything is kind of weirdly getting mushed together. Is that a fair statement, Contessa? Where it's like, you got sports gaming over here, betting on like elections and outcomes over here, and even the CME, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, kind of getting involved. It's all kind of getting
They made a deal with FanDuel. They're going to be the partner of FanDuel getting into these event contracts. The real question that the courts are going to decide is the outcome of a sporting event an event, or is it a game of chance, and this is going to be like sports betting, and that's left to the states? It's supposed to be up to the states to regulate sports gambling. And I think if you look at where this is in federal court right now, there's a hearing scheduled for November 19th in Nevada, where Kalshi and Robinhood are going to go in and they're going to make their best case to a judge who has already said that Crypto.com's sport trades are actually sports gambling. So I think this is going probably to end up in the Supreme Court, and the courts will decide. When I asked the NHL about that today, they said, if the courts decide against it, we'll pivot. But until then, we're treating this like the CFTC regulates it at the federal level and that it's legal and available. And so we're going to get in. We just didn't see the reason for waiting.
It's a heck of a story either way. And to your point, I guess the puck is heading probably to the Supreme Court.
By the way, and DraftKings just finished the deal with Railbird. They're getting into the predictions market. They're not saying about sports prediction yet, but clearly there's money to be made here. And with FanDuel getting into it with the CME, this is the wave of the future, depending on how the courts decide.
Well, I predict that we're smart for talking about it now. Contessa,
for sure.
For sure. Contessa Brewer, thank you very much.